Hello everybody and welcome to the Formula Sim Racing Thrustmaster ACE Division for round 15 of the American Grand Prix here at the Circuit of the Americas. And you'll notice straight away there's not many drivers on track this evening, which is a little bit of a shame, but we're going to go ahead with the action anyway. I'm Dave Paling and I'm going to be joined in the commentary box by Felix van Delft and Martin Stefanko. Good afternoon to you both. How are you today? You looking forward to this one?
Yeah, looking forward to it, even though there's not many drivers on the grid. I think it's going to be an interesting race nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an interesting race. It is, as always, well, almost always been quite interesting here in ACE. Qualifying now on the way. A couple of times almost being set. Lucas Schmidt looking good so far.
Yep, I think Norbert Leitner, he's just about to start his first flying lap of the session. I'm going to put a bit of a cheeky bet on him stealing pole position here. Adam Maguire is in the lobby, he's in the server, but he's going to be starting from the pit lane. And I'll give a quick shout out to any ACE drivers that have been competing in the World Championship this season. If they do want to take part in this race, I think they may be allowed to, but they would have to start from the pit. So if you sat there watching going, well, there's not many people on track, get on the track. And apparently that may also be the case for Brazil as well. So if you are sat there wondering what to do, get involved. And if you sat there thinking that you've never been involved in Formula Sim Racing, then hit the links, try out the mod, see how you get on with it, and if you don't crash too much, come and give it a blast for next season.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we're going to have 10 cars on the track. Lucas Schmidt, he's gone and put pole position time in at the moment of a 39.1. I reckon we're going to get into the 38s. But guys, do you think either of these drivers are going to be able to get lower than the 38s? As Norbert Leitner, I think he's gone purple in Sector 1 and Sector 2.
Yeah, he is half a second faster in the second sector than Lucas Schmidt, so it's going to be at least mid-38s. I think it could be possible, because the rear road is going to get better and better throughout the qualifying. So
yeah,
if someone will put in a perfect lap, I think for sure, why not? You know, it's not impossible.
There we go. Ace to bake already 38.6. I think we're even gonna go on the 37. 37s. Pole for WC was 37.2 out of my head.
Yes, it was. Well remembered, Felix. It was. Leitner's gone and done a 38.2, so he's a second off the WC time, but it's still a fairly quick time, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I just came home from Jeroen's house about an hour ago, and he there set 138 in quality room at Coda, his first lap. So they should be able to do that too.
Well, Jeroen said that he's having a fancy dinner today. So was it for you? Was it putting on a fancy dinner for you?
I guess, yeah.
So
but I wasn't invited.
McDonald's with extra sauce, or was it a proper fancy meal?
No, I think it was shawarma. I don't know if there's a proper word for that in English.
Not that I know of, because
Okay.
the only time I've ever heard of shawarma was at the end of the Avengers movie when Iron Man says, "Okay, job's done. Let's go for shawarma."
Yeah, well, the Dutch guys will know what I mean.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, commentary today could go any which way, but normal given the amount of cars on track. One thing that I think all of us hope for is no major incidents in the race as the qualifying session is continuing on. But I am prepared for if we get some big lulls in the race. Obviously, I think it's 56 lap race, which for 10 drivers, if they can all keep going, it could be actually a very exciting race.
Yeah, we've seen with the World Championship, of course, last week that we had a very exciting race. Yeah, let's hope these guys can also do good to that.
Well, I'm just having a look at Tank Applegate. He's coming around the final corner now, about to cross the line. What time is he going to do? He's about half a second up on his previous 42.4. He's only in 5th place though.
Yeah. Yeah, at the moment, gonna ride a bit on board with Lucas Schmidt. He's on his outlap now.
Well, Lucas could definitely be a contender for pole position here, but something that someone's mentioned on YouTube, and I was going to mention it as well, with limited amount of drivers, there has been an hour-long practice session for the drivers to get out on track and lay some rubber down, but there hasn't been that many drivers in the practice session to put much rubber down. And that is going to affect the level of grip the drivers are going to have here. So yes, the track's going to grip up throughout this qualifying session, but I don't think these guys are really going to fully get the benefit of the extra grip on the track through the real road.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be difficult, but yeah, still, it's for the same for everyone, of course. So yeah, they all have to make the best of it. Let's go on board with Lucas Schmidt at the moment, coming to the first sectors. We talked about it in the WC race. When you get the first sector wrong here, or the first turn of the first sector there, it's gonna not gonna be very good for the first sector. Lucas Schmidt at the moment improving by just a little bit. Now, Coda is a pretty difficult track. Of course, a lot of elevation changes as well, which makes it, in my opinion, quite fun to drive, but definitely not very easy.
No, I'd agree with you there. Something that's quite changeable as well is the air temperature, the ambient temperature. During the practice session, it ranged from 9 to 11 degrees, and it's popped up to 16 degrees now. So if the temperature is rising at this point, the drivers are going to need to make sure they've got their radiators set correctly. But also, I mean, it could affect how the drivers approach the race when it comes to their tyre temperatures. But Lucas Schmidt, he's been through sector 2. He is potentially on for pole positions, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know. He has to find almost a second for that, and this last sector needs to be spot on. Then looked quite okay. A little bit of oversteer on the exit there, last corner. Here we go. No, it's not enough. It's 2/200ths of a second too slow at the moment, so he will have to try again.
Ooh.
Still, he's got 2 tries left, but Ruud Heesterbeek.
Yeah. Heesterbeek has the fastest first sector, almost a tenth faster than Norbert Leitner. So we will see how well he will do in the second and the final sector. And if he does well enough, he might be on provisional pole.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
Yeah,
Felix.
go on.
So I was just going to say that even though there is limited cars on track and Heesterbeek is gunning for provisional pole position here, there is still a battle in the championship standings for this race, and Ruud Heesterbeek is one of those drivers. He's currently sat joint 5th in the standings. If he scores more than 2 points, he jumps up 2 places. If he scores more than 12, he jumps up 3 places. And also Norbert Leitner, who is currently holding pole position, he's in a similar situation to Heesterbeek, so these two still got plenty to fight for in this qualifying session and the race.
Yeah, definitely. Ruud has been a little bit absent last couple of races, but seems that he is going to pick it up here once again in America.
This will be provisional. This has been a really good lap from him.
Yeah, definitely 2 purple sectors. Let's see this last sector also. Looks good.
Ooh, yeah.
And
By
definitely
2/10.
Nicely done by him there. Applies the pressure to everybody else now.
Yeah, Norbert Leitner immediately responds and goes out onto the circuit. Well, otherwise the only driver that is now on a hot lap is Rian Lamprecht, but he is 10th off his best lap time and almost half a second off Ruud Heesterbeek in the first sector. But yeah, there is improvement in the second sector by 7/10, but it's still 1.5 seconds off. Ruud Heesterbeek had a little bit of oversteer here. That's definitely not going to help his lap time. But you could bet that it's still going to be an improvement. He is currently in 5th place, but he will need to find at least 2 seconds to move up at least into 4th. So we will see. Coming onto the last corner, not really a good entry. Now the DRS coming to the start-finish line, and he's 1 second quicker, but it's not enough to move himself up some places. He still stays in 5th.
It's a shame for him that. I was just watching David Ibanez as well. He went through Sector 1. He actually did his personal best Sector 1, but he did what Felix mentioned earlier on. He made a mistake in one corner early on, and it cost him just after the end of Sector 1, and he had to abandon his lap.
So Norbert Leitner coming to the last corner to start his third lap. Let's see what he can do. Getting the best exit, as good of an exit as possible. Coming to the line now. Here we go. Braking right before the 100 meter board, steering in, just clipping the apex on the inside, and a little bit of oversteer on the outside, then steering it in here. Should be full throttle, and to the left, just clip that apex. To the right again, shift down to 50 even. And long right-hander again. Make sure he gets the good entry through here. Then shifts down to 3rd gear up to 4th and full power here. Ooh, a little bit too much.
Bye-bye. See you later. Unlucky, Norbert. Unlucky, but he has got laps left to try again.
Yeah, definitely. He's still got 2 tries.
Sergey Heras, he's on a lap at the moment. He's done a personal best Sector 1. But quite a few people are a good second slower than Ruud Heestebeek at the moment in the first sector, which is a lot of time to lose in what is, okay, a busy Sector 1. But it's still a lot of time as Heras very sideways manages to keep going, but has still actually put Sector 2 was before then, but I think that's going to have cost him this lap, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Nice timing.
Synchronized, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think my ears just popped with that one.
That's not enough.
No, I tell you, if he hadn't have had that slight sideways moment, he would have improved quite nicely.
I think he would have gotten Lucas Schmidt definitely and moved up into P3, but yeah, he still has one more try to do it. But Lucas Schmidt is now on a hot lap. The only driver currently on the grid on a hot lap. So we'll see if he can improve and get closer to the 2 guys at the front.
While you're keeping an eye on him, I'm going to keep an eye on Ruud Heestebeek, who's just starting another flying lap, so be prepared to be screamed at if he improves.
Oh, you always scream at us, Dave.
I don't know what you mean! Isn't that what Schwarmer is? Shouting?
Not in the Netherlands, no.
Okay, let's focus. I'll tell you what, I think Heestebeek's just on a purple Sector 1 again.
Yep, definitely. I'm on board with him now. Coming through the 2nd sector. This car looks very stable.
Yeah, unlike Schmidt's car, which looks pretty unstable on the exits. He needs to correct all the time, so...
I mean, this is a circuit where you do kind of need, I mean, we talked about it in the WC race. For me personally anyway, I need a car that does exactly what I tell it to, not one that decides to fight back. As Heestebeek, he had a little bit of a wiggle out of the hairpin. Let's see what his Sector 2 time's going to be. Oh, rear end nearly kicking out again. Yeah, he's lost a little bit of time, but he's still up, I believe, on his current provisional pole lap.
Actually, I don't think he is.
Okay, my screen's lying to me then. Apologies for that.
Yeah, it could be also my screen lying to me, but...
losing 2/10 on his personal best, so I don't think it's going to be an improvement. But Norbert Leitner has done a personal best only by a few thousandths of a second, but still. Is the apex into this corner, and yeah, he's losing time as well, and now this corner hasn't been perfect as well, so I don't think there's going to be any improvement.
Nope, 4/10 off there. So it's gonna be Leitner now. Will he be able to do something? Oh, it's a little
I don't think
bit
so.
down on the 2nd sector. Ooh, the drifting through there. Not gonna help his time though. Definitely.
Definitely.
So, coming to the last corner, drifting again. This is not gonna be it, I think.
Yeah, not a really good lap.
Yeah,
from
loses
him.
more than a second in that last sector. Still has got one try left though. The only one that is finished is Rian Lamprecht. The others still have at least one lap to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers now coming out onto the circuit for their last try. But the first driver that's gonna start the hot lap will be Sergi Harris. So we will see if he can improve this time around and get himself into top 3.
I'm just looking. Becker and Chatsy Pantelis haven't put a lap time in yet. I'm not sure if they've got pit lane starts. I had a look at penalties and I didn't think they had penalties. Late allocation. Okay, so they can't qualify. So we're going to have 3 cars then sort of joining the back of the field, which could make the race interesting because I think possibly 2 of the 3 drivers have got the speed to fight their way through to the front of this race. So the story in the race may be how those guys get through the field.
Yep. So, Sergi Heras. Let's see if he can do it this time around. Starting his lap now.
A pretty decent first corner, nice exit. Full throttled through the second corner now. Need to hit the apex. He's done that pretty nicely. It is an improvement. He's 2/10 quicker than his personal best. It's a good start from him.
Well, while you're keeping an eye on him, I'm going to have a quick look through the grid as they come through Sector 1 and I'll give you some call-outs on sector times there.
I think this is going to be close between Schmidt and Harris. Harris only 1/10 faster in the second sector. He lost a little bit of time there, so we will see if he can do it or not.
Well, Schmidt's just gone through Sector 1 and he's nearly a tenth of up on his own personal best.
Well, we know one thing for sure, Leitner is not gonna get pole because he ran out of laps, so he's going to be starting second at least. And Sergi Harris has improved 138.9. He has got under 139 mark and he is up into 3rd position. We'll see how Schmidt can react to that. So far he is 3/10 up on his personal best, but yeah, you can really see that the car is pretty unstable and that is really hurting his times.
It was looking good up until that point. Hastelbeek was also trying to improve on his lap. He didn't improve on Sector 1 and then he lost control of the car in Sector 2. Well, let's see what Schmidt can do as he comes around the final corner. A lot of understeer there.
Ibanez also had a spin in the final sector, so no improvement from him. But, very close actually. There was an improvement, but it wasn't enough. So Schmidt is P4.
Yeah, so the only car still on track is Ibanez, but he went into the pit lane, so...
Yeah, he spun in the final sector, in the fast right-hander, so... That's qualifying done and dusted.
Yep. Qualifying done. Ruud Heesterbeek putting in a very good pole time there, 138.043. Norbert Leitner not being able to come really close to that. Still 2.5 tenths almost between them, and then almost a second between Sergi Herdas and Ruud Heesterbeek. So Ruud Heesterbeek pretty dominant here.
Yep, definitely was. Now, this usually the warm-up sessions, the practice session, doesn't really mean much, but it'll be interesting to see what sort of lap times Maguire, Becker, Chatzipantelis are able to sort of do here in race mode. To see if they're going to have the pace to fight through at all. There have been a couple of questions on YouTube about what's the format and stuff like that about the event. That is obviously the qualifying session we've just had, and we've now got a 10-minute warm-up session where the drivers can get used to the heavier fuel, and then we'll be heading into a 56-lap race where 2 tyre compounds are required. The medium tyre is the option, it's the whitewood tyre, and then you've got the orange hard compound tyre. Someone asked as well, is the mandatory pit stops? Trust me, nobody would be able to get to the end without making a pit stop, and if they could, they would have everybody asking for their setup. But also, I mean, it's interesting information is what the situation is with the drivers' champion, Felix and Martin.
Yeah. I think, by the way, we have a special guest here. Welcome, Jeroen. Haven't seen you in a very long time.
Hi.
Good afternoon, sounding very full there. So what did you feed Felix?
Yeah, chips.
Yeah, he fed me a lot of crashes, I can tell you that.
Well, he sent me a link of what he was trying, how he got on. I've not had a chance to watch it yet. And seeing as we mentioned that, actually, I mean, we talked about, before we came on air, about talking about wheels. So seeing as you're here with us, Jeroen, do you mind if we do talk a little bit about steering wheels?
No, but, well, I had an interview with Felix, and then he also brought up this wheel thing, and I should have said an extra thing. I just realized while having dinner, but I forgot to tell. But for example, the question was something like, has the wheel, so my wheel, made a big impact on the driving compared to my G27, which I used before? And I answered something like, well, last season with a G27. I also got 3 times pole out of the 4 races or something like that, so no. But you have to look at Schmidt, for example, because Schmidt in 4th right now, he has got an OSW2. Same for O'Reilly. I mean, are they suddenly, having a race-winning pace? No, they don't. So it doesn't make you a god or anything, I don't think.
So talent does exist then?
Yeah, deep inside me somewhere, I don't know where.
Well, I mean, interestingly as well, obviously Formula SimRacing is sponsored by Thrustmaster, and they have just brought out a brand new wheel. In the commentary box here, I'm a T300 user, Felix is a T300 user, Martin Stefanko is using something from the Stone Age. So it's a DFGT for anyone that's watching and doesn't know. What are all your guys' thoughts on this new wheel that Thrustmaster have brought out?
I don't know, I haven't tested it.
So when are you expecting your free one?
A free one?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I think Thrustmaster is your best bet, really, if you are a normal sim racer, so to say. I mean, you can invest in a lot of, expensive stuff or whatever, but I don't think everyone would get out of that, could get the money out of that, I should say. So, when you are just a normal guy, you probably will go for something like a Thrustmaster, and why not? I think it's the best call. I mean, we've had the new G29 or whatever it is called, but that is a G27 with a few extra buttons or something like that, and it's not that much different. I think Thrustmaster is really your best bet if you are a bit normal, so to say, the average sim racer.
I like that, if you're a bit normal. What about you, Felix and Martin? I mean, would you both be tempted to go... I mean, Felix, for you to upgrade, and Martin, would you look at the 300 or perhaps look at the new wheel that's come out?
Well, if I had to choose, I would probably go for the new one. But I think T300 is anyway a very good wheel for a decent price. So, that's about it. But I have seen the new wheel. It looks good. We will be testing it thanks to another leak. So after that, I will be able to give you more info.
Yeah, I of course tried that OSW setup of Jeroen earlier today, and I gotta say, it's another level. But yeah, I think, as Jeroen said, for the casual sim racer, to say you really, I think, with a wheel with good force feedback, and I think pedals also make quite a lot of difference.
Yeah, pedals make more difference than a wheel.
I think so too.
I'm not gonna lie, that's really...
Yeah. I'd agree with you. I mean, I had the T300 stock pedals. I upgraded to the T3PA Pros, and it has helped me massively. But something else to mention as well is the wheel stand, whatever wheel stand people use, or cockpit setup, that can play just as big a factor. Because if you've got a wheel stand that's wobbling all over the place, then you could be reacting to a car slide that's not a car slide, it's just your ironing board's a bit wobbly.
You have also people who have pedals and then they like fiddle around as soon as you press the brake pedal or something like that, and they move while you're driving. I mean, that would be really annoying in my opinion, I think.
Oh yes. See, now I'm older than you guys, and I've probably been using wheels a little longer, and I mean, I've gone through all stages of types of wheel stands, from a cupboard with the back kicked out, so I have my legs going through it with a wheel on it. I've even used an ironing board at times, and I mean, it sounds ridiculous, and in proper sim racing it is ridiculous, but if people have bought themselves a cheap wheel and they haven't got anything to mount it to, grab your mum's ironing board. It has surprisingly will work quite well, but it is better to actually go out there and buy yourself a proper wheel stand. And I think I went with a GT Omega, and I've got to admit I was very impressed with it, with the stability of it.
And Dave, you know what I noticed while Felix was driving here earlier today?
Does he stick his tongue out while he's going
No, nothing like that, no. I mean, he wasn't that fast, and but he practiced the crashing, because every time he would crash, he would actually release his hands off the wheel, which is exactly what you're meant to do. So somehow he has already practiced that, I think.
Yeah, well, the first time I realized. The first time I crashed...
oh yeah, there was also one stage where he didn't release the wheel, and you could hear his fingers like... What's the word, Felix?
In English, jeez.
What would the
crack
word be?
A little bit.
Yeah, you
Cracking.
could hear his finger crack, like... Felix, are you alright? And he said, yeah, no problem.
It was just like when you crack your fingers, like that sound, but nothing serious happened to me.
I was a bit scared, like Felix, just break your wrist.
Just to jump in a second, can you just put a quick replay on Chats of Pantelis? He's had a very interesting moment out there in the session as we're waffling on.
I'll take a look. Pantelis is always somebody that entertains you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this warm-up session is going quite through because we're obviously waffling about everything else. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to setups and stuff like that, I mean, it does make a difference what you use. But it's nice to know that Felix has got that experience of crashing to let go of the wheel.
He just seems so good at it, like a natural ability to release the hands as soon as it goes wrong, or release the wheel as soon as it goes wrong.
The question is, did he throw his hands up in the air and give it a or was it just
a calm impact, calculated impact?
Yeah.
Did he at any point go, Jeroen, watch this? Because that is always followed by a crash.
No, not really.
I survived about 2 corners of Northslife.
Oh dear.
But yeah, definitely, it's an amazing piece of technology, though.
You get used to it, though. Like,
yeah,
it becomes so normal after a little while.
I can imagine it does. I mean, when I got my T3A Pros, the amount of force needed to press the brake pedal was giving me cramp in my left leg. It was that difficult. And that lasted for about 2 or 3 weeks, but now it is much more natural. I don't even think about it, don't even notice it. But when I've had people come round who have also got like stock T300 pedals, I'm like, have a go on this, and they can't do it. It's really, really tough for them. But it's a lot like driving in general. I mean, if people ask you, Jeroen, how do you drive as quick as you do? I don't know. I just drive. It's natural. It comes.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't. If you're not thinking about it and you're going quick, that's just natural ability. And I mean, the real technical term is muscle memory. Your hands, your arms, your legs, they know what to do without you really thinking about it.
Yeah, I think also Jeroen told me that also. It really helps on consistency, having a good setup.
Yeah, a setup doesn't make you necessarily fast, like really, but when a setup really suits your, your style, it can help in consistency, and like that's the setup which you have with setting up a car. But when you have setups with, oh, Shotzi Panselis has a.
You've seen this.
Yes, yeah. Shotzi Panselis went for the red light. Okay, but like Dave said, when you have a wheel stand that is wobbling around everywhere, you're just gonna get distracted the whole time in the race, and that doesn't help at all.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go for a very short ad, and then we will be back for the race. Then we will go racing for 56 laps here at the Circuit of the Americas. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Whoops, got the wrong commentator names there. Jeroen is here also, so Justin isn't. But who cares? It's about racing, not about who's interviewed or who is commentating.
That's a good point, actually. I mean, Mal America has come back again this week. And if no one has noticed why I said that in the World Championship and why I've said it today, go back to the start of the video, the very start of the video.
Well, it's up there now. Oh no, it's not. Damn it! Darn, this one doesn't have it. Well, too bad. You have to scroll back then. But are we waiting on somebody or something?
I guess Sadler is giving some info to the drivers that are starting for the pits.
Okay.
Which are, if I'm not mistaken...
McGuire, Becker, Shotzi Panselis.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good party in the pit lane. Alright, here we go. So, just quickly asking about strategy. What's gonna be? What do you think is gonna be the best strategy? Of course, in WC we saw 2 and 3 stops. Right?
I think it's going to be. Most people will probably go for 2 stops. Some might try a 3 stop. And we'll see.
I think it will depend on how the drivers feel on their setups.
Yeah.
If they're not very happy, I mean, let's put it this way, in qualifying, if the car's not been looking very stable, on the prime tyres, they probably won't be very stable, so they may go 3-stop using mediums a few times. I think the guys starting from the pits, they may try going for a 2-stop. It'd be interesting to see if either of them go for the hard tyre from the start.
Seems that Florian, of course, those guys are still in the pit lane. We will see. Guys now in their formation lap. Pretty quick formation lap, to be fair.
Well, I was just about to have a look. I think this may be, I think it definitely is Hasterbeek's first pole position this season. I don't know if it's his first ever pole position in FSR, but maybe it's something he's not used to doing. He's used to following, not being the leader.
Yeah, especially compared to Jeroen. I think Jeroen went quite slow in last week.
Yeah, he went so slow that we had a chance to wait until he got halfway around the lap and then go through the grid order. But obviously he wasn't slow in the race, because that was one hell of a race. And if anyone is watching this thinking, oh, FSR, it's boring, trust me, it's not. And if you want to make sure of that, come and watch Pro tomorrow, because that's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, Dave, we're gonna have a good party again.
Oh yeah, mate. Oh yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll make it interesting, I'm sure.
So, coming through the last sector now.
I think it could be interesting to watch Adam Maguire, as he had a very good pace in practice. I think he's going to be getting through the field throughout this race, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I think, Florian as well.
Yeah, of course, also has run the last race. So
yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Florian is the only driver starting on the hard tire, so an interesting call.
yeah, indeed, it's gonna be interesting. I think Florian, he allocated late, so starting in the pit lane. But here we go. We are gonna start the race. 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are racing here. Seems to be a good start for Heestebeek. Also Norbert Leitner alongside now. Almost 4 wide going into turn 1. Guys, let's keep each other alive. And it is Norbert Leitner who gets the best start there and gets in front with Lucas Schmidt. Also very good start, and now in second place.
I could be wrong, but it looks like Adam Maguire and George Chatsipantelis are still sat in the pit lane.
Yeah, because they need to wait until they finish the first sector, which Florian Becker hasn't done.
Oh, wow.
Oh dear.
He
So
has
Florian
started. He has started early, so too early.
Watch Heestebeek. Heestebeek is going for a move here. Coming to the straight. Gonna try to switch back, is he? Go get on the power early and get a slipstream. Maybe use a little bit of boost to try and get past Lucas Schmidt here after his not so very good start. But here we go. Alongside each other now, coming to the braking zone. Still side by side. Wout Heestebeek gets the better entry there and seems to be past there. Very good move.
I'll tell you what, Heestebeek was a good 5 kilometers an hour quicker than Schmidt in a straight line there.
Yeah, but Heestebeek had really poor top speed in quali.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That's not even a joke. He was hitting 333. Leitner, for example, 337.
Wow.
And he was hitting the ref limiter as well, so he can't go any faster than that in the race, even if he uses slipstream.
Oh, we've got a spinner. I think that's David Ibanez.
Oh,
it
yeah.
Is. Can he keep it away from the barrier? Hopefully he can. If he's got a couple of cars coming at him.
Ooh.
Double donut time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, and it seems to me that Becker is going pretty slow. It seems to me like it.
Maybe he's trying to counteract the early start.
Yeah.
Heestebeek though, he's already catching up to Norbert Leitner. I think by the time they get to halfway through sector 2, he's going to be all over the back of him. Now, one advantage for the drivers here is with it being a shortened grid is it's obviously not as busy for each of them, so they can focus a little bit more on what's ahead, what's behind. The guys up at the front, they're sort of free to battle at this moment in time. What'll be interesting to see is when they decide to pit first, because that will be a surefire sign of strategy. But I tell you what, Leitner, he's just made a mess of the hairpin, and if Heestebeek's got good straight line speed in the race, he's going to be on him at the end of the straight.
Yeah, talking about pitting, we saw in the WC race that the undercut worked quite good, at least to Jeroen's favor, didn't it, Jeroen?
Yes.
So yeah, that's gonna be something to look out for.
If anyone watched the last World Championship race highlights, you'll know why I said when asked how he felt when he won the championship, all he said was, yes. Oh dear, apologies for that.
Just wait for the coming week. It's gonna come a very good interview with more words than only yes.
I must admit, I am looking forward to that one. How are the guys at the back of the field doing at the moment, folks?
Florian, of course, I don't know what's gonna happen with him if he indeed started earlier than he should have. But yeah, that's something for the race director to decide. Adam Maguire.
Applegate spinning, but he spun into the right direction at the hairpin. first corner. He took the board with him.
Always.
Okay, Hastelbeek is within DRS range. I think we may have a move coming fairly soon.
Yeah.
He's getting really close. I tell you what, there's probably never been a better opportunity for Hastelbeek to go and take a victory here. So he needs to sort of grab it with both hands, because if he doesn't, he could be throwing away a damn good opportunity.
Oh wow! But look at it, he's not closing up really quickly, to be honest.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will go for the inside, try to outbrake him, and he'll get it. Yep, indeed. But that is really poor top speed, to be honest. Leaves the door wide open here, by the way, but Liner doesn't take it. That was really poor top speed. It was he was really close at the exit of turn 11, going into turn 12. But yeah, he had more trouble than I would have thought.
I think Leitner definitely used a bit of boost on that particular run down the straight, because the previous 2 laps, I think he did 311 kilometres an hour, 314. That occasion was 319. But yeah, I mean, Hastelbeek's top speed, not the greatest. But given this situation of race, he's been looking quick anyway. Top speed may not be a hindrance for him if he's got it through all of the corners.
Yeah, I was about to say if he stays close enough, he's gonna get him back. But yeah, the gap is increasing though. It's around half a second right now. I think Hastelbeek is going to pull away in the first sector, and I don't think Leitner will have much of a chance to get him back right now.
No, I agree with you. Adam Maguire, he's now up to 8th place. He's got ahead of David Ibanez, and Chatzipantelis is closing in on Ibanez as well. I think Ibanez's spin earlier on will have hurt him a little bit with his tyres, but Leitner, he is staying within range, I believe. I've not got my sector times up to see if he's within DRS range.
Yeah, and Adam Maguire has done the fastest lap. Yeah, the only driver actually to go under 142. So Maguire showing that he's got very good pace.
Now, Sergej Heras, he's not able to attack Lucas Schmidt at the moment. I don't think he's got the best of straight line speeds either. I mean, this is a situation where you don't want to be stuck behind a car for too long here, so you really need to try and be aggressive as early as possible and make the gaps where you can.
Not really. I mean, were you talking about Heras?
Yeah.
Well, he can also wait. I mean, why he doesn't have to attack. He can save some boost perhaps. Then at the end of this stint, when the pit stops appear, deploy it in an attempt to undercut, for example, in your outlap.
I'm just trying to get you to attack so we've got something to talk about.
Wow, you have to be honest as well, Dave. I mean,
True.
If I were Heras, I would be like, oh, whatever. I'm gonna attack later on in the race and not now.
No, I mean, you are right. The gap from him to 5th place round Lamprecht is huge already, and it's only going to get bigger. So he can just wait for undercuts. I mean, if the gap stays as it is now, he gets an undercut, he potentially finds himself in 2nd place.
Yeah, and it is only a matter of time before the guys who started in the pit lane will catch up to Lamprecht and Applegate. I mean, they're lapping 44, 45s, which is not fast at all. The guys behind them are about 2-3 seconds per lap quicker, which is quite a lot.
Yep, and Maguire's catching up to the back of Florian Becker now through Sector 1, so I think that's going to be an overtake coming fairly quickly as well.
Heras has got good top speed, but needs to get a good run out of 11 in order to get a move in.
Yeah, he didn't have the best exit.
And Maguire then on Becker would be too far back, I'm sure, but we can get an indication of how quick the OFR car is, and it's got quite a lot of top speed actually. He goes for it as Becker leaves the door open. There will be contact. Yes, there is a bit of wheel banging. Becker now on the inside again. This is good racing, but nice from Maguire. Completely outbrakes Becker. Didn't expect that as Becker at the inside line, but Maguire showing about 338 kilometers an hour there, which is massive.
Yeah.
Wouldn't expect an overtake, but he was quite far back. He did it.
Of course, Becker is on the hard tire, so that didn't make it any more easier for
Wow,
Florian.
I mean, does it matter if they go straight?
Oh, I mean, in the corners, you know, he doesn't have that much grip with the harder compound.
Right, yes. Yeah. And McQuire is also lapping quicker than our leader. Obviously,
Yeah.
the gap is 23.5 seconds, so don't expect anything crazy there, I would say. But yeah, he's showing good pace, and again, will be a matter of time before they close up to Lamprecht and Applegate.
Well, you say don't expect anything crazy. If he's lapping, what was it, a second
no,
quicker?
Dave, no.
No, think about it though. If he's lapping a second quicker and there's still 50 laps left in this race,
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Mathematically-
That's exactly why. I mean, McQuire can still drop off easily if he's using a lot of boost now. He needs to lap or overtake a lot of cars as well. Hera, Smith, Leitner. So, forget it.
I'll put my tenner on a podium.
Yeah, I agree on that. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, but 23.5 seconds to the leader. Yeah. I don't
Well, I
think
mean,
he'll be able to keep it up like this. He will drop off a bit, I guess.
I think under normal circumstances, I think it's not really going to happen, but you never know. Anything can happen.
Okay.
Tank Applegate leaving the door wide open there through turn 14, I think.
Ooh.
We go, yeah, he's already passed, so
Well, that was quick.
easy overtake there for Adam Maguire. Taking a very good, good opportunity there.
Here, this lap, Dave, you can get a good indication, I think, what you can expect from McQuire, I think.
Yeah, now that he's got the clear air, and he has got quite a lot of clear air, hasn't he,
Yeah.
to Rian Lamprecht ahead of him.
You have to look at the gap now between Heesterbeek and McQuire this lap, and then again 4 laps time or so at the end of the stint, and then you can judge.
Ooh, well. It seems to me that Maguire's been quite aggressive with the car, smoke coming out of the tires in a lot of corners, so he might, I don't know, might go for a free stop.
Just behind him, though, Tank Applegate coming under pressure from Florian Becker. Applegate's gone massively wide there. That lets Becker through quite comfortably.
Applegate seems to be struggling quite a lot.
Yeah, his best time is 1:44.8, which is like 2-3 seconds slower than most of these guys. So I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to take a long time before Chatsi Pantelis will get past Applegate as well.
So the gap between Heesterbeek and Leitner now stabilizing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Around 2 seconds.
Yeah, Leitner set his fastest lap, just previous lap, so that's impressive. Setting our fastest lap in lap 7, it also shows a bit of consistency from Leitner, which is very good. You know, it's better if you are setting your fastest lap in lap 7 than it is at lap 2, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we'd all agree on that one, because if you're setting it in the first couple of laps, you're just destroying the tyres, aren't you? Whereas if you're setting them later on in the stint, it means you've looked after them quite well, you're happy with how the car's handling.
Yep. And again, Heesterbeek pulls out about 3/10 in the first sector. Really shows what kind of downforce levels I think the Go Speed car is running. I already noticed in quali that he hasn't got high top speed like I said. But it also shows in the sector times now. Middle sector 42.0 from Heesterbeek, and then Leitner does a 42.1, so a bit closer compared to the first sector, but still not great. Still slower in fact than Heesterbeek. And Heras can get by Schmidt just yet, but
Yeah.
let's wait for the pit stops.
Yeah, and Chassis Pantelis versus Applegate, and bit of lockup, but he makes the move stick and moves himself up into 8th position.
We're just getting a quick replay of that. Couldn't really see that indeed. Looks to be Chatsi Pantelis DRS around the outside. And then brakes a little bit later.
So,
Maguire and Lamprecht side by side through penultimate corner, and Maguire's managed to sneak through there. Only caught the last part of that. That might be worth having another look at.
Yeah, definitely looking at it now. Lamprecht went a little bit wide through the long right-hander. Lost him a lot of time then through the penultimate corner. Maguire was already side by side. That gets a better exit actually, and already is past coming into the last turn. Yeah, you can see Maguire is really pushing his tires.
yeah. Yeah, you can see the smoke. Yeah, really. Oh yeah, he's really killing the tires. I don't think he's gonna do a two-stop, to be honest.
It's gonna be difficult if he treats his tires that way all the race.
Yeah. Exactly, it's going to be very difficult.
Well, while that's been going on, Lucas Schmidt is under pressure now from Heras. Heras trying it around the outside, not quite able to do it. But while all this has been going on, Hasterbaker's opened up the gap up at the front to Liner. I don't know if the Liner had a little bit of a problem, but that's gone up to 3.5 seconds. But Heras is starting to harass now.
Ooh, I hear something going into a wall. It might be a bollard, but I don't see anything happening. No, it's probably a bollard.
It is a bollard.
Yeah.
Turn 12. After the long straight.
So I'm gonna try to compare Hasterbake's times with Adam Maguire. Hasterbake 42.2 and Maguire is in the last two corners now. But I don't think there's going to be a big difference in the lap times. I think
Maguire will be slower quite a bit.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, by 7/10, so he's definitely not catching.
Dave, are you paying attention?
No, I'm not watching anymore. I've had enough, no. All I'm going to say is that I used to be a smoker, so anyone whose tyres are smoking, I'm not interested in any way, shape or form anymore. It is of no interest to me. We'll see what happens in 45 laps time.
Heras still quite close to Lucas Schmid.
Yeah,
Not close enough to try something into turn 11 though.
I think we're going to have a battle soon between Lamprecht and Florian Becker for 6th position. The gap is only 1 second, so expect a fight pretty soon. And Adam Maguire has his pit light on. Is he going to pit this early?
I wouldn't be surprised with the amount of smoke that was coming off
Yeah.
his tyres. Yeah, I mean, from here, could he two-stop medium? Probably, yeah. 23 and 23.
Well,
Is he going to do that? Don't know.
I think you meant hard, not medium.
I did, yeah. Well done. Just checking if you're awake.
I think that's possible. I mean, 23 is not that much.
Yeah, it could be possible, but with the way he's driving, I don't know.
He might just be his strategy call here. Just
Could
push
be,
everything
could be.
out of the first stint, and then
I guess we'll see.
we've seen
He's in the pits now.
Sander Callas win a race like that. I think it was in Hungary, Ace. At least a race somewhere where he just pushed so hard the first sector, set purple times after purple times, and then
Spa.
yeah, I think it could have been
Yeah.
It was Spa.
And then he just after that first stint, nobody was able to touch him anymore.
Well, Adam Maguire is on the hard tires, so that indicates that he could go for a two-stop. But I guess we will see after this stint. We will know for sure, I think.
Well, on the betting websites, I'm hitting that cash out button. I want my money back.
Florian Becker
Here
now.
comes Becker, yeah.
Really
Yeah,
close to the back
Indeed.
of Lamprecht.
It's a good run. Oh, okay. A few steps off the wheel there, but easy peasy. No
Yeah.
problem here.
It's going to be easy as it can be.
Well,
Side,
Well.
side. If he
Not a bad top speed from Lamprecht.
takes it good, yeah.
But yeah.
Lamprecht not really defending hard there.
Yeah. I think the performance is now switching towards since everyone's stars is are dropping off.
The crossover point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the crossover point when Becker will be setting faster lap times.
Well, Hasterbeek has just done a lap that would suggest his tyres are just starting to go off now. So he may be in the pit. I mean, pit window is probably anywhere between sort of now and the next 3 or 4 laps. So I think he's quite comfortable at the moment. He'll be enjoying this one.
And Applegate, a mistake.
He's stuck actually.
He's stuck in the gravel. I think that's race over, sadly.
Smoking now.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
He did it. Let's see a replay what happened there.
And I think Ibanez will be pitting soon. He has his pit light on. And another mistake actually from Applegate in the final corner.
Oh, he just clipped the outside curb there coming into turn 16.
Okay.
And then indeed got stuck.
Well, I think we're gonna expect some. The pit lane will be a bit, busy this time around because I see a lot of drivers with their pit light on, and that is Leitner, Schmidt, and Harris. And actually, Harris has lost quite some time to Lucas Schmidt, and the difference is now 2 seconds.
Harris. Sorry, go on.
Liner into the pit now.
So is Schmidt and so is Harris, while Hasterbeek continues on. And Applegate is out of the race.
DNF for Tank Applegate.
And Lamprecht will be going into the pits as well, I think.
Leitner's gone for the hard compound tyres, Schmidt hard compound tyres, and Harris hard compound tyres as well. No surprise there, really.
Yeah, and Lamprecht goes into the pits as well, and I think, a bit of a spin, half spin from Shatsipantalis.
Lamprecht spins into the pit lane, almost.
Wow.
Lucky to not lose his front wing there, I think.
Yeah. And I think Ibanez will be pitting as well.
Yeah,
But it won't make much difference, I think, because he's already lost. Okay, so let's see. When will he has to make pit?
Hasn't got his light on yet.
No, he doesn't. So
I think he should be in this lap, really.
If he wants to cover the undercut from Leitner, yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Now Leitner, if he wants to get the undercut done, he needs to push now and make the most of this. But the difference was around 5 seconds, so yeah, Hasterbeek would need to stay out for another 1 or 2 laps to make that undercut actually work.
Well, his last 2 laps was a 42.7 and a 43.1. Let's see what this particular lap time is, a 43.3.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's losing a bit of time now. I think if he doesn't pit at the end of this lap, he's going to come under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, could be, because Leitner is catching quite quickly actually. So
Shatsipantalis, he's dropping Shatsipantalis. What did he do? Did he spin around? Yeah, he spun around.
Oh, and Lamprecht has his pit light on again. Well, what's going on there? He was in the pits, right?
He did make a pit stop. He's on the medium compound tyre again, so I don't know whether it's not changed them or whether he was speeding into the pits.
I don't know.
I don't know if anything happened to him, but he's going into the pits again.
Definitely not good for his race.
What happened? Something must have happened on this lap, because he was driving pretty slowly. So
let's see if I can get a quick replay of what he did in the pit lane coming in last time when he's just spun around on the entry. And then he stopped in. He didn't stop.
Oh, he didn't?
He didn't stop. He just, I think he missed his pitch box or something, because he just didn't stop anywhere. Just drove on and realized that he got got past his split books already, so
Wow. Okay.
it's not good for his race. Definitely not.
Haste debate's going on for another
Yeah.
lap.
It's gonna hurt him, I think.
Yeah, and the gap is under 22 seconds, which I don't think it's enough still. But he's definitely going to be closer than he was before the pit stop.
Well, that lap was a 1:43.9. So he's losing about half a second-ish per lap that he's continuing on.
Yeah, 1 second. Because Leitner has done a 42.8, so 1.1 seconds in the last lap.
Yeah, by the half second, sorry, I meant compared to Haste Debate's own previous laps. So he's losing half a second a lap on himself. But yeah, we're losing a lot more to Leitner. I think he's either confident that even if when he makes his stop he's behind Leitner, that he can get past him and it's not a problem. Maybe.
What I'm thinking... Oh, he has his pit light on now. So he's gonna pit this lap. What I'm thinking is... well, he might actually go for a 2-stop, but he might try and do double option stint and one hard stint.
He could do. You could be right on that. I mean, he's done 15 on these, do another 15, it leaves him 26.
Because,
so, yeah.
Yeah, because why would you stay out, you know? I don't see any other reason why would he stay out.
I haven't got a question. I've got an answer for that one. Let's see if Jeroen could pipe in on that one. He likes corrected us. So, come on, Jeroen. Why would he stay out if it weren't to do an option?
I don't know.
Well, that killed that one, didn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Let's
the gap
see that.
was 20 seconds, so it should
It's gonna be very close.
It's going to be pretty close, but I think Hastebeck is going to come out ahead anyway.
Hards.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think Hastebeck will be ahead, but not by much.
No, he keeps the options open though. I mean, if he'd gone to mediums now, then he had to stop for hards. Again,
I think
for sure.
I think the other reason why would he stay out just that little bit longer is he had a big gap, so he can afford stay out a few laps longer.
True. Also, if he is going to do hard, it means that he can push these hards a little more if he likes. He's got some room there. If he's got an engineer that's told him Leitner's on the hard compound tyre, then he has got that option to push his car a little harder into all of the braking zones, traction zones, and everywhere else that he wishes to. But he's already opening up the gap a little bit on Leitner.
Yeah. And Harris is closing in on Schmidt. It was around 2 seconds. It's 1.5 now. And I think we can expect an overtake from Adam Maguire on Florian Becker, since Florian still wasn't in the pits, because he started on the hard tire.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have another, potentially 10 laps on those tyres, so... I mean, they won't be hurting him too much at this point, will they? The hard tyres do last quite nicely.
Yeah. I don't think that his pace is bad right now. I think the tires are still in a pretty good shape, but still there's quite a big difference in tire life between Florian Becker and Adam Maguire. Because he's already on his tail, so he's gonna get the RS. I think we can expect an overtake on the back straight with the use of the RS.
In the start-finish, it is an overtaking position, isn't it? But the exit of that final corner, it's a tricky one when you're following a car in the dirty air, and it's not always easy to stay close enough to attack into turn one. Obviously, it can be a bit easier to get close through sector one, as Adam Maguire is doing here, to, as you said, make that overtaking move down into the back straight. But with how much he's catching him through the corners, he may be tempted to make the move before he gets there.
Actually, yeah. Well, for sure there could be a chance at the turn 1, but I don't know myself because somebody took me out at the start, right?
I can't remember. I was going to ask you, but I'm trying to go for the move big sideways.
Oh, yeah.
There. And now we've got a drag race with a bit of DRS involved as well.
I don't think Florian will make it hard for Adam Maguire. And he doesn't, so an easy overtake.
Well, yeah.
Easy.
Yep, in the end, not overly difficult, but Maguire again, he's a bit of smoke pouring off his tyres, so he is punishing them quite a bit. Up at the front, Leitner's now just over 3 seconds behind Hasterbake, so Hasterbake showing his pace here today. Is Heras still closing up to Lucas Schmidt?
The gap is pretty much the same, so no change there at the moment. Gap is pretty stable, yeah. Well, we don't have any fights here at the moment. But we can expect Adam Maguire closing in on Harris and Schmidt, so but that will still take a few laps until he closes the gap completely.
Well, Liner's just had a bit of a moment around turn 9 there, running a little bit wide. It's very easy to do. But yeah, I mean, as you said, Martin, no battles out on track at the moment, which could make it a little difficult for us here in the commentary box and perhaps even for the viewers.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I'm hoping for some action. I think gonna come. But yeah, so far not much happening on the circuit. We still have around some 38 laps around to go. So yeah, there's still a lot of things can happen, and you never know in the world of sim racing and motorsport in general. You never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, right now it may seem boring, but you never know what will happen, as I said. And only one thing can, make the race much more, interesting.
Well, weather is something that obviously has an effect in ACE. If it is raining in the Circuit of the Americas, it would rain here, but I don't think there's any chance of that today. So I don't think any water is going to spice up this race. So, I mean, how could this race be spiced up anymore?
I mean, you could, Hasterbake and Leitner could, their engine could, overheat and, they could retire from the race, and then you have a fight for the lead between Schmidt, Harris, and Maguire, and that already makes the race more interesting.
Safety car.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because nothing's happening.
Whoa! I just realized.
Go on, Felix.
I didn't see this before. The orange pillars next to the track that say turn 13 and stuff. I hadn't seen those before. But I think Sergi is closing in a little bit on Schmidt, is he? No, actually.
No. The gap is still stable, 1.6 seconds. So, yeah. Schmidt would need to do some kind of a little mistake to, give Harris the RS, and then you could have a fight on your hands. But Adam Maguire is catching quite quickly. Last lap 42.1, and he was, actually 1.1 seconds faster than Sergi Harris, but 1.5 seconds quicker than Lucas Schmidt. So, Sergi Harris was 4 tenths quicker than Lucas Schmidt in the last lap. But now the gap is 2 seconds again, so...
There was talk with a few of the Ace drivers a few races ago about, for the last few races of the season, having the tyre compounds opened up so that they could pretty much use any 2 of the 4 tyre compounds. Is that something that you guys perhaps would have liked to have seen in the last few races in Ace as a test for next season? Or do you think the right decision was made in that, no, keep it as it is, there's still people fighting for points?
I think. I mean, they paid for Ace, and I personally, probably people think also I didn't pay to test for something. I came here to drive and race with other guys in the car I signed up for.
Yeah, I guess from our point of view it could be interesting, but I don't think it would be good for the drivers.
No, I agree with you. I don't think bringing something false in to a degree to test something for a future season, or bringing something false in to spice things up is not necessarily the right way to go with things. So I can fully understand why the drivers said no. Go on.
It's the same for everyone, though.
Of course, yeah, you're right. It's the same for
I
everyone.
mean, it's the same as now. It's now the same for everyone too.
Yeah.
True.
Yep. So a couple of different opinions, but I mean, none can be said to necessarily be right or wrong.
I'm not picking a side here. I mean, I don't care. I'm just neutral, but you know, it's the same for everyone. Won't it be? So.
Yeah, and Chassis Panzer is in the pits. Was he in the pits before?
He
or
spun around. Let's see. I think he lost his front wing. Let's see.
He pitted lap 12 already, or 11.
On the exit curb, turn 15, 14. Oh, he just thought
Wow.
he could go full throttle on the apex there,
And
and
he's-
tried to spin it around and got front wing damage there, I think.
Yeah,
And
and
then he just went in the pits.
he's on the mediums again. He locked up going into turn 1, almost spun there. And wow, is he like going for a 5-stop or what?
Could try 6. Why not?
Or maybe 10, I know.
Do you know what the record is in FSR for the most amount of pit stops in a race?
Do you know?
Well, I don't know, but I can
I don't
already
know.
guess it was in Singapore.
It probably would be one of the street circuits. I can't say I know myself. I just thought I'd ask the question. Someone might know.
I wasn't here.
Well, the
for a
league has
long
been
time,
quite old. I mean, over 10 years old. So
15.
yeah,
Yeah,
even.
actually. So, and I'm here for when did I join?
Spa?
It was August. So
Spa,
3 months. So I don't really know.
No, same here. Heras, he's got Maguire beginning to close up the gap on him now. It's come down to just under 2 seconds between the two of them. So we are going to have a little bit of a battle approaching. The gap between Schmidt and Heras is sort of stabilised as well. So most action coming for 3rd, 4th and 5th in the very near future, hopefully.
Yeah, and Becker has his pit light on, so we can expect him to pit at the end of lap 22. And I expect him to go on another set of primes, do another 22 lap stint, pit on lap 44, and then do a final 12 lap stint on the mediums. That sounds about right. So. Oh, he's gonna come out. Sixth place, which he is in now because he has a 40-second gap to Shatsi Pansalis, so yeah, he's gonna have a ton of clean air. But I think in his case, it won't change probably anything, so because he's driving alone, having a lonely race. Yeah, and he's in the pits. Oh! Oh, he missed the pit light the pit entry.
That's not very...
That's not what you want, really. I thought he was gonna crash into the wall there.
Whoops. Oh, he just locked up and turning in.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And he's on the mediums actually. Wow. Interesting call.
He won't be going for 2 medium stints, will he?
Wait, how many laps do you ever make? 34. So 17 laps. I mean, you could do it, but you will lose a lot of time at the end. And I think a better choice is a medium and then hard. So, or a hard and then medium. It doesn't really matter in his case. So, but I think you can do it, but you will lose a lot of time at the end of both stints, I think. And with the way he's driving, I don't think it's really possible. Well, Maguire is less than a second behind Sergio Harris now, so he will get the DRS on the start-finish straight. So we can expect finally, some battles on the circuit.
You do realise you've commentators cursed that, and it's going to end up with nothing happening.
Oh yeah, I know. Let's hope it doesn't turn out that way. But I know a lot about the commentators curse from my experience in our league, where
Fact sector 2, what's happening? Ibanez, what's happened to him? Going very slow.
yeah, he has a broken suspension, I think.
Yeah, lost his front wing as well, coming to turn 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on the exit of turn 9 and into the wall, losing his front wing and probably suspension.
Maguire going to be going for the move here on Sergio Harris down the back straight DRS, and it is easy. Well, I'll say it's easy. He is now ahead, comfortable there. So not a lot of action, but it is a change of position. Maguire's got himself into 4th, and obviously Schmidt right ahead of him, next in his size.
Wow, actually, now that I think about it, Maguire might actually win the race.
Oh, don't go coming onto my side of this now. No, I'm going to stay here all on my own. Thank you very much.
But I think he's gonna be second. I'm gonna bet on it right now. He's gonna be second at least.
Well, I don't know if something's happened to Leitner in the last lap or so. He's lost a little bit more time to Hasterbake. But I mean, nearly 8-second gap. I mean, there is only a 5-second gap from Leitner to Schmidt, so I can see why you're saying what you are now. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half of this race. Or at least I hope it'll be interesting to see what happens. But Leitner, he can't afford to think, "Oh, I'm comfortable here."
Yeah. As Ibanez is in the pits.
I have a feeling that may end up in a DNF soon, but at the same time, if he can continue on, at least he scores some points. But I think Maguire may be close enough to attack Schmidt on the back straight. He's about the same distance, a little further back than he was on Harris, but see what his top speed's like. He may be able to attack.
I mean, he might do a Verstappen into this corner. Oh, he doesn't. He's too far back.
Ooh. Oh, he's had to get on the brakes hard there. He seems to have much more speed through the apex of corners, whether that's just because he is driving aggressively or whether it's just down to the setup on his car. But he has now got Schmidt going defensive, which Schmidt kind of needs to do to keep him behind him for as long as possible.
Definitely. So Ibanez still has the suspension damage. I think he's gonna continue. It's not that bad, so at least score some points. So let's see, Maguire into turn 1. I don't think that's gonna happen. Nah, he's waiting for the right opportunity. Woo! Had a bit of an oversteer moment in coming out of turn 1. yeah, managed to keep it on track. Now has a face full of understeer, or the dirty air, I should say.
And this is a circuit that, I mean, dirty air through that first sector is absolutely awful, isn't it?
Well, probably, yeah, but like I
Sorry, I
said...
didn't mean to rub it in that you got took out in turn 1, but it is bad.
Yeah, I can imagine that it's really, really bad. Especially in the fast corners, which the first sector has a lot of fast corners. So.
Maguire is going for
Yeah.
it now on this occasion. It's another easy-ish move. Let's see if he gets it slowed down in time. Yep, comfortably through. So that's Maguire then up to 3rd place, and now he's got a little bit of clear air ahead of him. See if he can close in on Leitner, who, I mean, Leitner is not that far away.
No, only 6 seconds, and he seems to be quite a lot quicker than Norbert. I think he's gonna get him. Sooner or later he's gonna get him. If Maguire doesn't go for a free stop, that is. If he goes for a 2-stop, he's gonna get him, but if he goes for a free stop, it's going to be a bit more tricky.
I'm just having a look at Hasterbake's and Leitner's lap times. Hasterbake's being very, very consistent at the moment. Leitner, not so much. He's literally doing sort of high 42, mid 43, high 42, mid 43. So consistency is not quite there for Leitner at the moment. That's what's helping Hasterbake open up the gap at the front. I mean, for Hasterbake, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing, and he's got a good chance of taking the victory here. And now that Maguire's got past Schmidt, is Heras close enough to attack Schmidt?
Well, he was. Well, the gap is again 1.5 seconds. So we'll see, I guess. But you know, I don't see that happening at the moment. But you know, we could be surprised.
And the best bet for Heras is to go for the undercut. Obviously, he couldn't do it last time around. He followed Schmidt in. But he's got very similar pace to Schmidt, so if he can do the undercut, he's got a good chance of staying ahead of him, because he's showing he's got the pace to keep the gap similar to what it has been. So that's something for us to keep an eye on. But we'll have to see how Heras copes being ahead of someone if that's the situation, and how Schmidt's car's handling, and whether he can attack. But obviously we've got a few laps until that comes around. I mean, when did these guys pit? Was it lap 12? Yeah, lap 12. So they've done 16 laps on these tyres, probably got another 8 to 10 to do on them.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do I guess another at least 5-6 laps on this set. Not sure about Maguire though. We'll see. Yeah, and coming back to the commentator's curse, I know a lot about that since I was commentating in our league, and sometimes I was like, "Oh, this driver is doing so good," and the next thing you know, he's in the wall.
Oh yeah, the commentator's curse. It is a real thing. It really is a real thing.
It is exactly. I don't know how, but it is. It just is.
The sim racing gods look upon us and think, all right, so that's what you're going to say. Right, I'm going to teach you a lesson, my friend.
Oh wow, Hasterbeck is having such a good race.
That's just mean. That is just mean. If anything happens to him now, you do realise you are going to be lynched.
I'm just thinking about the fans, you know. I want to make the race interesting.
I mean, having said that, okay, how does FSR go from this situation now to make ACE great again for next season?
Well, I think you have quite a lot of drivers in Pro, and I can see that a lot of...
Becker spun around. It's a yellow flag in sector 2 for just a moment.
Okay.
What did he do coming into turn 9? Was it the exit of turn 9? I think it was. Yep, indeed. Did he keep it out of the wall? Only just. Tires won't be happy about that.
Well, like I said, there's quite a lot of drivers in Pro. I can see quite a lot of drivers from there moving up to ACE. So I think in the end, next year it's going to be pretty much equal in every series. You know, I think it's going to be around those 20 drivers in WC Pro, and the same for Ace. I think it's going to get like really equal, you know. So I don't think we should be too much worried about that.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I only asked the question to it gives us something to talk about. But
Of course, of course.
I mean, we were talking. I mean, me and Felix were talking a little bit about it before we came on air. That for a lot of the pro drivers this season, they've wanted to make sure they get to the end of the season. There's a lot of tight, close battles in the standings. The fight for the title is still on. So there's a lot for the drivers to fight for. So none of them have really wanted to make that move up into Ace and lose all the work that they've already done in Pro. They want to complete the job that they've started. But you could probably move the top sort of 10, maybe 12 from Pro into Ace, and Ace would be how it should be, really. I mean, obviously yourself and Michi Hoyer, the Ace champion, once Michi confirmed the Ace Championship, both you two moved from Ace into WC, and it's understandable why you both did that, because at that time the numbers in Ace was low, and obviously if you're both racing in WC next year, it gives you an idea of what the level of competition will be for you. But I mean, it is a shame that at the start of this season there was, I think it was 22 drivers signed up for Ace, but unfortunately they've for whatever reasons it may be, they're not still taken to the circuit. And obviously FSR has tried to do a few things to bring higher attendance into Ace. But unfortunately, one of the things that has happened is quite a few of the drivers from AMA have sort of bypassed Pro and ended up in Ace, which, to be fair to them, if they hadn't done that, there would probably only be 2 or 3 cars on the grid.
Yeah, most definitely. It would be even worse than it is now, but like I said, for next year it's going to be very much equal, so...
Yep, definitely. Now, I'll tell you what, Maguire's not been able to really pull away from Schmidt much over the last couple of laps, and he's not really gaining on Leitner now either. There's a good chance he may have burnt his tyres out, but I mean, if he pitted now, he'd have 26 laps to go. Let's have a look. How many laps has he done on this current?
19.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he's burned that previous set out, I don't think he's going to be pitting just yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's going to stay out for probably another 3 more laps, and then he's gonna pit for another set of hard tires. Of course, it's pretty difficult for him because he has to do more laps on the hard tires than the other guys behind him or around him. So yeah, at the end of the stint, of course, he's going to drop off a little bit.
Well, some information for you. Hasterbake, we're going to commentators curse him a little bit more. If he does go on to take the victory here and take the 25 points, that'll put him on 105, which would potentially put him into second place. Florian Becker is currently in third place in the standings, so depending on how many points he scores, he could have an effect on where Hasterbake ends up. Leitner, see 18 points for him. Yeah, I mean, they're both going to jump up potentially quite a few places. They're not going to catch Michi Hoyer, that's pretty much impossible, but they may be able to get their names a little higher up on the standings.
Yeah. And I see a yellow flag. Oh, it's Ibanez, okay. Had a spin at the end of the second sector. After
He's actually almost weaving on the straight because of his suspension damage.
Oh! And Maguire has his pit light on. He's gonna pit.
That's
now we will see. If he goes for the hard tires, he's definitely going for the 2-stop. If he goes on the mediums, then it's a 3-stop. And then if that will happen, then he's gonna have a lot of catching to do.
Yeah, definitely he needs to overtake basically almost one guy every 2 laps.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. If he goes for the medium compound tyre, in the next few laps, the Leitner ahead of him, Schmidt behind him, Heras behind him, who are now passing him. They've got another stop to do in a few laps' time, so they'll be out of the way potentially. He could get an undercut on Leitner, but obviously when he makes his second stop, but he is going for the hard, so that's all irrelevant. So yeah, but he would have had to potentially have overtaken them a little later on, but going for the hard tyre now, could he get a big enough undercut to get onto the back of Leitner when he pits?
Well, that depends when Leitner will pit. Leitner pitted on lap 12, or I'm not really sure. I think it was lap 12.
Yeah, it was lap 12.
So I think he's going to do probably at least 2 more laps. So I don't think he's gonna do an undercut, but he's certainly going to be much closer than what he was, if he doesn't make any mistake, of course. But we'll see.
As they say in the Lego movie, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly, and it's 200% true, especially in sim racing and motorsport in general. Like I already said, you know, anything can happen.
So Maguire, he's come back out on track with a 12-second gap now between himself and Heras. So he shouldn't really suffer with traffic from Heras or Schmidt, because I think they'll have both pitted by the time he gets anywhere near them.
Heras pits. Oh, and he missed the pit entry just like Florian Becker, but he didn't lose that much time. He was 4.5 seconds behind Lucas Schmidt, so he lost quite a lot of time to him. But we'll see if he can make the undercut work on Lucas Schmidt.
Yeah, he must have had a bit of a moment somewhere. Let's see if we can have a quick look. Yeah, Sergio Heras, he did end up off track. I'll see if I can have a look at that.
So that explains it.
Oh yeah, let's see, we was going through turn 9. It was alright there. I'll keep watching this until he goes off.
Oh, and Schmidt has his pit light on as well, so I don't think Heras is gonna make it work. 23 seconds, that's not enough. And Leitner is coming into the pits as well. And Maguire should be closer, but he's not gonna make the undercut work. He's not gonna be ahead, for sure. While Hasterbeek continues on.
Well, I watched the replay for quite a while there and never really saw what happened to Ibanez, so I can't update anyone on that one, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Leitner pretty comfortably ahead of Maguire, but the difference, yeah, he closed the gap by around 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, almost 3 seconds, yeah. So he gained a little bit of time, but yeah, he's gonna have to be quicker than him to get himself up into second position, and I think he has the pace to do it. He definitely has. So.
I'd agree with you. I mean, Maguire's first full lap on this set of tyres are 40.9, so we'll have to keep an eye on what Leitner does on his first lap. But I think that gap, I mean, with the amount of laps left, I think the gap's going to come down enough for it to get interesting at some point towards the end.
Yeah, and it also depends, you know, how well Adam Maguire treats his tires. You know, if he keeps driving like he has been for the whole race, then in the end he's gonna, you know, drop off again. So he needs to, you know, get past Leitner as quick as he can, close the gap as quick as he can, because he's gonna drop off again at the end. Chatzipantelis.
Oh, I thought for a moment that you was going to say Hastemake.
Sadly not.
Pitline, what did he do?
No, he spun it in the first corner.
Oh, cold tires.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lamprecht has his pit light on, so he's gonna pit for another set of hearts, I presume. Well, now we are getting into the boring part again.
Well, I did say to Felix that I've got a few tidbits of random stuff to keep us entertained, but I don't know if I really want to go down that road yet.
Okay.
Maguire's
Well-
still catching.
Yeah, Maguire's still catching, so let's wait until that fight happens, and then we can get to the random stuff.
Dave, do one already now if you can.
Alright then, it's got absolutely nothing pretty much to do with what's going on track, but have you any idea which racing game has the record for the most amount of sales?
Guess
Ooh.
it's,
Mario Kart or something like that.
how much racing is racing game?
Well, that's a bloody good question.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably one of the Codys.
Well, I don't know, with the history they've had over the last few years, I'm not sure about that.
Well.
Are it most sales in terms of quantity or most sales as in highest revenue?
Quantity. Someone's on Google. You can't Google it.
No.
Well, while everyone's thinking about their answer there, I'll keep an eye on Hastemake, see if he's got a pit light on or anything. He hasn't. He's only got 20 laps to go. And Martin, you mentioned earlier on about whether he goes, he's going to do a medium stint. I think he might be. I mean, if he goes another 3-4 laps, he's on for it, isn't he?
Could be, but he's gonna have trouble. Oh, he has pit light on already, so definitely that's out of the question.
Yeah, just as I say, he pops it on.
Yeah. He's definitely gonna go for another set of hard tires, do 20 laps. Can push the tires a little bit, but I don't think he really needs to. He has a comfortable lead. He can just, have fun.
That he can. Maguire, he's getting a little bit closer to light now. 2.5 seconds in it.
Yeah.
So a couple more laps, 2-3 more laps, and that'll be on.
Chatzipantelis. Almost going for a space flight there, Chatzipantelis.
Oh.
Yeah. But he's big in the pits. Puts on the hards. Yep.
Of course. And Becker will pit as well. I think for a set of hard tires again. Go to the end of the race. Probably going to finish in 6th place if nothing will happen in front of him. Or if he doesn't mess up, of course. Yeah, and Maguire, I will take a look at the lap time. Yeah, he was 6/10 quicker than Norbert Leitner, so he's definitely catching up. I think it's going to take another 3-4 laps to actually overtake him. Then we will see if Norbert will be able to strike back at the end of the stint thanks to fresher tires.
Yep.
Because if you look at Adam Maguire, he's really aggressive with the car, so you can expect him to drop off at the end, like I already mentioned.
Hey, Florian Becker, he's just made what'll be his final stop. He's gone for another set of the hard compound tyres, and it looks like he's going to come out. Oh, something's happened to Chatzipantelis again.
Yep.
I've just gone on board and he was slightly off track.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, Maguire's really catching him. He's wow, only 1.5 seconds behind him now, so we've got a fight on our hands already. I didn't expect him to close the gap that quickly, but yeah, I'm not complaining, and I don't think any of you are either.
Was it the PlayStation game, Dave?
No, it wasn't.
Was it a Wii U game?
I'm not saying anything else.
Because I took a look on Google, you know.
You're not allowed to Google it.
But I already guessed it. When and the result was same actually. Because I said that it was a Mario Kart.
You're right, it was.
Yeah.
2008 Mario Kart's Wii game sold 35.76 million copies.
Well, nice. Well, because I already said it before I googled it, you know.
You were obviously one of the ones that bought it then.
No, I took a look. It was I don't know, a few years back, I think. And
I'm going to save you from this story because Maguire's close enough to attempt an overtake. You're rescued for a moment and you're sat there going, damn it. I may fire another question at you guys in a moment, but is Maguire close enough? He's having a look of the inside, but no, he's not. So that's going to continue on for another lap.
Yeah. Of course, he might try and overtake into turn 1, but it's pretty unlikely, I think. Of course, if he gets a really good run, for sure, but I think he will wait for the right opportunity to get past.
Yeah, I mean, at this point of the race, there's absolutely no point taking any excessive risks, is there? I mean, when you've caught a driver up as quickly as has happened here, as Maguire runs a little bit wide, yeah, you can afford to take your time because there's still a fair few laps left in this race. I can't say I've been keeping an eye on whether Hastebake's been pulling away at the front, but I don't think he's in a situation where he's going to have to worry now if Maguire gets ahead. But obviously, the more laps that Maguire is behind Leitner, the better it is for Hastabake.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, a bit of a chat that's going on on YouTube at the moment is talking about pro and assists. I'm going to keep an eye on Maguire and Leitner, though, at the same time while I'm mentioning this. Assists, there are a few assists that are allowed in pro, but what a few people, I think, haven't realised over the season is that if you have the assists on, it adds weight to the car. More weight on the car equals a slower car. So, yes, you can have traction control and ABS, but you're going to go a little bit slower for it. Maguire, he's within range. Is he going to have him this time?
I don't think so. I think he's too far back again. But they are both closing in on Hastabake actually, which is interesting.
Oh, and he tries going for it on the inside. Side by side, a little bit of bump of the wheels. Do not write each other off, guys. You're the ones giving us the action at the moment, and just about managed to get through. They're still side by side though. Now Maguire is ahead. And on the view I've got at the moment, I could just see a flash of Hastabake as Leitner's trying to fight back. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to fight back as aggressively as possible, because obviously he's going to want the second place, but he's not had dirty air for quite some time. So he's also got to be careful as he goes sideways, just as I mention it. Yeah, he can't afford to get too feisty, because the last thing he wants to do is go from being on the podium to being a DNF.
Yeah, that was... Yeah. Oh, he brakes really late coming to turn 1. Oh, and Maguire makes a bit of a mistake. Close now, but... Oh, Jesus!
It's still going. The side by
Leitner!
side. He's got through. He's got... How the hell is he?
Are you...
Now Maguire's spinning. Oh, my days.
Oh, wow. What a battle this is.
I don't know if they actually made contact there, but geez, that was close.
Wow, I don't think they did, to be honest. I think it was Maguire just made a mistake. Wow.
Yeah, Maguire, a little bit of oversteer. Leitner sneaks through, and then Maguire again, a little bit of oversteer. Oh, that was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. But it's still not over.
I just watched it on the stream. Yeah, wow. But that definitely helps Hastabake because he has increased the gap by 2 seconds.
Maguire is within range, but you're right, the gap to Hastelbeck has opened up, which is going to please him a little bit. Is Maguire close enough on this occasion to have another go? I don't think he is, unless he's going to go for a late braking move. No, he's not. Opts out of that one, which is a wise choice for now.
I think that if he doesn't get past him quickly and doesn't build the gap, he's not gonna get him at the end of the race. Simple as that.
He did pit a couple of laps earlier, didn't he? And obviously all of this battling, and you can see the wheel spin that he's creating. It's going to cost him more tyre life. That is going to cost him time at the end of the race.
Yeah, exactly. So he needs to get a move on. He wants to secure himself a second place. Otherwise, he's going to have to settle for a third.
Is he going to dive? I've got a feeling he's going to go for a dive.
I don't think so.
I tell you what, Liner, he's showing he's still got good straight line speed, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I saw Adam Maguire just cutting the corners just a bit. But I think it was still within the rules, but it was on the limit. Yeah, look at him how he's just spinning the rear tires. It's just gonna kill them, absolutely. And he's going for it. He's going for it. Oh wow, round 2 incoming. Down the inside, and he's done it. But of course, Leitner is going to try to fight back like he did last time. He's going to try to hold it around the outside, but can't make that stick. Maguire is of course going to hold the inside for this turn. Went on the bump. But oh, Leitner was very close to the AstroTurf. That could end in tears. Yeah, but I think Maguire has it now. If Leitner doesn't get him into turn 1, which he probably won't because he had an oversteer moment coming out of the last corner, I don't think he's gonna do it.
No,
but he's braking. Oh! Braking right again. Oh, and this is just a deja vu, like...
Well, I was about to say that. I mean, he did brake late. He's quick through the first part of Sector 1, isn't he, Leitner?
Yeah.
But while, I mean, these guys still battling, Hastelbeck's opened up another second on them. Maguire, he really needs to try and break the DRS gap. He needs to get a second ahead through this sector. Oh, big drift from him there. Manages to keep going, but that's going to cost him for traction on the exit of turn 9.
Yeah.
And his tyre temperatures may still be a little bit too high on the exit of turn 10. He may just be far enough ahead to have broke DRS, but he's had a poor corner. Liner's had a poor exit. Maguire going defensive straight away. I don't want none of this, mate. And Liner hasn't got DRS. So
he has.
Has he? Okay, on my view, it wasn't showing, but not close enough to attack. But he's definitely good on the brakes, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely is. I don't think he's gonna get him. If Maguire builds a gap, I don't think he's gonna get him. But if the gap stays around that 1-2 seconds, I think Leitner will have a hell of a chance at the end of the race. And he's gonna have DRS as well, I think now, 8/10. But it's going to be very close. Yeah, he has the DRS, I think. Yeah, he has. I can imagine him being on the late on the brakes again. And he does, yeah. Very late. But a nice exit though from him. Getting closer and closer.
I think Maguire's going to struggle here. His car's getting a little bit more sideways than he would like. He's leaving big tyre marks on pretty much every corner now. And they've got Chassis Pantelis just ahead of them that they are catching up, I think it is. So it'll help Maguire if he could get close enough to steal DRS off him. But I don't think that's going to happen. No, it's not. Is Leitner close enough? Yes, Leitner is close enough for DRS. So Maguire needs a better exit of the hairpin on this occasion. But Leitner's messed up the apex of the corner a little bit. And that's going to give a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, but he still has the DRS, so just about. But yeah, that messed up exit. That really help him. Yeah. And Maguire is catching actually Hastelbeek, but Hastelbeek is for sure he's not pushing, unlike Maguire. So
No, I mean Hastelbeek, I've not watched him too much through this race because he's been running off on his own up at the front. But every time I've gone on board with him, he's looking very, very comfortable, very, very stable, looking very happy out there in the lead of this race. Liner, ooh,
Jesus,
lucky boy. He should be happy. I hope he hasn't got an OS wheel, otherwise he's just broke his thumb.
it's over for Leitner for now. He has an FDRS and the gap is 1.3 seconds. It's over for now, I think. This battle, but I think he's gonna come back later on.
He'd be wise pacing himself for a couple of laps, wouldn't he? Making sure he keeps his temperatures within check, and just like I said, just pace himself for a couple of laps, and then give himself that extra opportunity of pushing a little bit harder. And we've still got 12 laps of this race to go, so he's got plenty of time to try and catch him back up. The problem is that Maguire has been quick throughout most of the race, but as we've seen, he has been very, very aggressive on his tyres. So yes, he'll pull away now, but that gap, as you've mentioned, could come down very, very quickly. And I'm on to my next random bit of trivia for you. So put Google away, you cheated sod.
I didn't cheat. I didn't cheat. That was legit.
Okay, now this one is slightly relevant to what we're doing here today because we are racing in the circuit of the Americas. So here's a random question for you. In America, how was the first airmail delivered?
I have no idea.
By a dove.
Interesting guess there, Felix. He's been very, very quiet, but he's been sat waiting for the next random bit of information.
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, I'm not going to tell you for a while. I'm going to let people have a guess and see what they could come up with. We'll see who's cheated and who hasn't. Okay, the gap between Maguire Liner, 1.4, 1.6 seconds now. We've got anything else happening out there? Lucas Schmidt still in 4th, Sergi Heras still pretty much the same gap behind him. I must admit, Heras has been doing very, very well through this race. He's had a couple of tricky moments, but he's still within touching distance. It's probably a bit of a frustrating one for him that car has just been right there for the taking, but there's not been much he's been able to do about it.
Oh, I see. So, okay. So
Someone's been on Google.
No, I wasn't. I don't want to say this. So, basically, from what you said, I think that if someone gets it right, you think that he automatically used Google.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because nobody is smart as you.
Oh no,
isn't it?
That's not the case. Trust me, I had to Google it to know the fact.
Nobody think that. Why do you think that?
No, it's more a case of it's more fun to guess. But yeah,
course.
for anyone to get the answer correct, then they definitely must have Googled it.
A bit of banter here.
Oh yeah.
Dave,
Yes, mate.
can you perhaps tell what kind of bet you had with Peter?
Oh yeah. Is he going against it now? Is he going against it?
He hasn't done it yet.
Okay, well, everybody. Peter Bell, as Jeroen has just mentioned, is the one of the OFR owners, and I made a little bit of a bet with him before the Formula Sim Racing season started, that if Jeroen Kweekel won at the Drivers' Championship, that he would have to do a special celebration. Last season, when I think OFR finished, he was second or third in the constructors.
No, it was Kuba. Kuba at Monza first win.
Sorry, that's right, Cooper at Monza. Peter celebrated with a bottle of champagne and spraying it all over him. So my bet with Peter Bell was that if Jeroen Kweekel wins the World Drivers' Championship this season, he's basically got to do exactly the same thing, but wearing women's underwear.
Ooh. I don't think I would want to see that, to be honest.
I actually would. Just to have a laugh at it.
You know what?
Just
Let's broadcast it in Brazil next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Before we start the WC.
We could put it on in the warm-up session. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Peter,
that
if
would-
you're watching,
that-
it needs to be done coming week, yeah?
I think that would bring a lot of viewers. So I approve, but I'm not gonna watch it. But I'm not gonna watch it. So.
We might get a copyright, or we might get the video removed from YouTube then.
Too much
Yeah.
flesh showing. Okay, back to what's happening on track. David Ibanez, he's just made a pit stop. I think that's going to be for the medium compound tyres. It is. So we'll see if he can fire in some decent lap times. What he's going to be careful of, though, is the race leader, Hasterbake, is quite close behind him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I want to see Peter Bell do that video. As long as he doesn't say that I've got to do it as well. I'm not a team owner, so it doesn't apply to me. If I win a pro race this season, yeah, I'll do it.
Maguire.
Maguire spawn. Oh, that. Oh wow. Okay. Well, that just
Let's
happened.
see. Oh, we just what happened?
What?
Oh, we just lost it through the long right-hander. Took a little bit of a more narrowed line, and I think the tires just gave up on him. And Leitner now again in front.
I think that's GG for Maguire. He's
Tires done, yeah.
surely destroyed his tires. So.
Yeah, I think you could be right on that one. I mean, that's a corner where you won't see that happening very often, but if you have got a little bit too much rear tyre wear, it can be possible. Basically, as Felix said, it takes the slightly tighter line through the corner, and the rear tyres just can't handle it.
Exactly. Well, with the way he was driving, it doesn't really surprise me that happened. So, yeah. I think it's going to be much more difficult for him to stay on the track with the tires in this condition.
All right, Felix, some information for you. David Cook says he span everywhere in practice except for that corner, so keep an eye out for him tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. He's also said that next week in ACE should be better. They will allow some more WC drivers to drive in ACE for the last round. Normally that isn't allowed. Obviously, I don't know if that's a confirmed thing or not. But if it is,
It is.
What is some more?
Jeroen, are you going?
I don't. To be honest, for sure it's a good thing that the WC drivers are allowed to race in ACE, but why would they do that, to be honest, you know?
Practice.
I think in many ways, okay, ACE is a longer race distance than Pro. But I think if they opened it up and said, right, okay, Pro drivers, you are allowed to take a seat on the grid, or one from each team is allowed to take a seat on the grid, or something like that, then they can use it as a race to get involved in, increase the number of cars on track, but also as a practice session for their main race, which is the next day, which is obviously a shorter distance. But that may be more practical, because if you allow the WC drivers in, potentially majority of them are much quicker, and you're going to end up with WC drivers taking up the top 10, and what is the ACE battle being null and void effectively.
Yeah, but why would you do that? You're just gonna wear yourself out, before the WC race. So.
Well, some of us have got arms like Popeye.
Well, I have some experience with that. So it's not that, it's not that bad, but still, it's.
No, I know what you mean. When I've seen drivers do a pro race and then race in WC, I must admit, I'm sat there thinking, I don't know how you're doing it. I'm exhausted, and it's hard work doing the commentary in WC when you're exhausted, let alone trying to do another race plus an extra few laps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely with the kind of wheel that Jeroen has.
Yeah.
Chachipantelis is in the pits, by the way. Last stop for him.
Okay, well...
Well, he did have an off-schedule pit stop earlier, didn't he, for a little bit of front wing damage, so that could just be that his tyres have gone, because pitting with 7 laps to go is a little unusual, unless he's just thinking, well, let's see if I can go for a fastest lap, but that usually ends up.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, as Adam Maguire has actually done fastest lap of the race. Wow.
Okay, interesting. I mean, he's on 17 laps level tires.
Yeah, and he has spun. Yeah, he has spun and. What does it do? What is that?
What? Fuck?
That was almost like he hit the pit limiter or something.
No, he
I
just
was-
shifted down 4 gears.
Ah, I do remember he has said recently he has had problems with his wheel where he goes to do
goes
like an upshift.
neutral.
And he upshifts loads, or he does a downshift, and it does drop into neutral on occasion. Because I remember having a discussion with him about maybe set your neutral, like going into neutral as a separate button or something.
That is... I think he's got to be very lucky there not to blow his engine.
Yeah.
I think if there's ever a sign to say just slow down a bit and get to the end, that's probably it.
Yeah, well, maybe he's not happy enough. He's trying to go to the end. I mean, stopping now is not gonna be not gonna be an option, of course.
Yeah. Wow, so Harris and Schmidt. Harris last lap 41.7 and Schmidt 41.9, so 2 and so he's closing the gap, but the gap seems to be pretty consistent. I don't really see a battle happening in the last 7 laps, but we'll see. Same with Leitner versus McGuire. I don't see a battle happening.
Cook was just saying that maybe the reason for Maguire's spin at turn 2 could have been for it dropping into neutral.
He didn't though. So.
No, I don't think
No.
so. No.
Okay, there you go. There's the answer to that one.
Yeah, it was just a normal spin due to the rear tires being worn out, so
Yeah.
nothing special there.
Now, there is obviously a bit of a chat going on about the number of cars on track at the moment. However, one thing I will say is...
Sergio
Sergio Harras spins it. Unfortunate for him.
He was getting closer to Schmidt, I think.
What a shame.
Yeah, I was mentioning about the amount of drivers that are in this race. Obviously, having only 10 turn up to a race is not good. But to be honest, if all 9 of these drivers at the moment get to the end of the race, that's more drivers that have finished an ace race in the last few rounds, I think. Because I think in the last few rounds, or the last round at least, I think there was about 14 drivers, but I think only 6 finished. So yes, there hasn't been a huge number of drivers on track, but the number of finishers is going to be higher than some of the recent rounds.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go. Pantelis has just done his fastest lap of the race. Is it the overall fastest lap?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is by a tenth. Oh, no, I thought I seen someone else go quicker, but it wasn't. It was 2 seconds. It's like, I was looking at the 0.784, and then I saw Lamprat do a 763. I was like, all right then. It's a little bit like when you're in a bar and you go, oh, I'm going to go and talk to that nice lady. She turns around and goes, I'm not into men. Oh, all right then. Even if you know she's lying. But yeah, so Chancey Pantelis, he's going for fastest lap, so we'll keep an eye on him in the last 5 laps of the race to see if that fastest lap turns into a fastest into the barrier. Hopefully not, because I'd like to see him get to the end of this one. I mean, for all of the drivers, get to the end, score some points. Oh, he's off again.
He's sliding so much. I think his rears are just off the cliff.
Destroyed, absolutely.
He should. What it is, he should stop listening to the broadcast and our dodgy comments. That's what it is. Because when he had his off earlier, it's when we was talking about Peter Bell doing ladies' underwear celebration. And then I was talking about the meeting a woman in the bar, and he's off again.
Yeah.
Was that a bit of piece out of own experience, Dave? Or?
No comment. He doesn't know where the cameras are set up in his bedroom.
Oh.
What?
I'm joking.
Huh? I don't see the link, but okay.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I had 2 cameras today in my bedroom.
Yeah. 2.
It's a good job I know you did an interview with Felix, otherwise that would sound really, really dodgy.
Did you feel like a famous person?
No.
Okay. Fair
only
enough.
tiny cameras. Only tiny cameras.
No, of course not. It was a good time with Felix. It was funny when he crashed.
I hope some of those moments make it into the video.
I don't think my crashes were recorded. His crashes were.
Oh, I'm sure your owner can click onto the replays.
Oh damn! He's got friends.
Okay, Ruud Hasterbake, he's about to cross the line to start lap 53. I've got to admit, out of everybody out there so far in this race, he's been probably the most calm and collected, hasn't he, really? Comfortable up at the front.
Definitely doing
Undeserved winner.
doing his laps. Very consistent,
definitely.
actually. Oh, wow, like very, very consistent. Let's go through his laps. When he got out of the pits, 141.2, 141.1, 141.6, 141.2, 141.1, 141.3, 141.3, 141.
Harris into the pits.
141. 3, 141, 1, 141, 3, 141, 4, 141, 3, 4, 3, 1, and then 0. So he hasn't actually been anywhere else than in the 41.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned, I think it was his first stint or second stint, he was very consistent then as well. And, okay, people may say, oh, this is an easy win for him, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it is, but at the same time, as a racing driver, you're not just racing against everybody else on the track. You are racing against the track. You are racing against the clock. You're racing against yourself. And if you win a race where you've been supremely consistent, then no one can say you don't deserve to win. It's a little bit like, I know Formula SimRacing doesn't race at Monaco. I mean, I love Monaco. And I always say, it doesn't matter how you win Monaco, as long as you haven't cheated. If you win Monaco, then you can be extremely proud of yourself, because that's one race that's so difficult to take victories at. So when you are the winner of a race in Hasterbake's situation right now, this should mean just as much to him as, say, your own winning a race in the World Championship would mean to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Although I doubt Hasterbake will show us his sweaty underwear after a race. So will
Not
he,
going
Mr.
that way
Kweekel?
down. Huh?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
See, you should have mentioned that in the interview.
There was no
But,
question about it, so sorry.
No, we didn't know.
Damn.
But no, I mean, to be fair, I mean, these races, 56 laps around Circuit of the Americas, it's an energetic race, isn't it?
Now ask Felix. I mean, he was already sweating after 3 laps, and then I said, "No, 56 laps of that."
Yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, really big respects to Jeroen there.
Said, "No wonder why I'm sweating," and he said, "No, I completely understand it." Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave?
Yes.
You wanted to ask something about the start, or you said something like that? Of the WC race or something like that.
Oh no, what happened to you at the start of the race?
Okay, well, basically, I stalled like James Sadler, but I managed to, get away normally. But I got a slight tap from Viktor Ivanov, but then George Winter had to avoid James Sadler, and he spun the car and crashed into my side, destroying my suspension, and that was race over. So that's even if that wouldn't happen, even if I wouldn't stall at the start, it would have happened anyway. So just nothing I could do about that.
That was all before turn 1 then.
Yeah, it was actually on the start. I do remember it now.
What?
As basically Martin, I think, had a slight moment of stalling, but James Sadler stalled quite badly, and he tried to hit escape as quickly as possible. However,
You can stall, eh? You can stall.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
You can't. Oh
No,
wait.
no, of course.
No.
If you stall the engine, then it dies. I mean, it's anti-stall. So it prevents you from stalling, so you can't stall.
Even I didn't stall.
Well,
You got into anti-stall, but you don't stall.
I'm only going on what Sadler said in his comments. His car. Let's
Oh,
put it
that's
this way.
Sadler's comments are wrong. eh?
Well, let's put it this way. His car did not move at the start of the
Well,
race.
it went into anti-stall, so
Right,
you know.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing.
No, it's not, because when you stall, you have a bigger problem because the engine is stalled. You know, you can't. You know, the engine dies.
There's no ignition key in the car.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a big. There's definitely a difference in there, Dave.
Well, I'm at last. I'm going to go on what Sadler said on his comments. Let's not get picky now, blokes. Folks,
Yeah,
we're
this is
55
stupid.
laps
Yeah,
into the
sorry.
race. Banter. But anyway, his car didn't move. Is
Maguire's
that clear?
around. Maguire's around again.
Oh, Schmidt.
And
Into
Schmidt's
third place.
passed. He has. Yeah. Maguire definitely not happy with his tires. Oh, let's see the replay of that coming into the turn 12 there. Let's see. Locks the rears. Oh, well, I can see what
Yep.
happened there.
Yeah, similar side.
Yeah. Deja vu. But yeah, he now has one lap to try and get back his podium place. Don't see it happening with his tyre life.
No, neither do I. To quickly finish off that story, because Haysterbake is on the final lap now. James Sadler didn't move at the start of the race. Two cars behind him tried to avoid him, Martin being one of them. I think Martin actually got hit up the rear. And then as George Winter went to avoid James Sadler, had to make quite an aggressive move to avoid him, and lost the rear of the car and hit the side of Martin. There was quite a bit of carnage. Obviously, your own probably wouldn't have seen it up at the front.
No,
but yeah.
no, this is the first time I heard it.
Oh yeah, there was a good 3 or 4 cars involved.
Which
it was quite a
position
big
was
crash.
it for then?
It was about 8th, I think it
Okay.
was, Martin.
Yeah, I was starting 10th, so it was
Okay.
somewhere around that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Midfield now. That's always the worst place to start, the midfield.
Oh.
Depends on which division.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know. I think qualifying 12th and starting a race 24th is worse.
True.
I mean, if you start the race in pro, it doesn't matter where you started. There's the same percent.
But guys, with Haysterbake is coming through the last turn now.
I think we all should give him a cheer
Coming
here.
to the line. Taking his maiden win here in Formula Sim Racing. Ruud Haysterbake winning the 14th round of the championship. 15th
15th round of the Malabarica.
of the ACE Championship. Yeah.
Get in there, Rude.
Congratulations to him, of course. Perfect race.
Definitely has definitely shown his potential here. And
Lucas Schmidt on the podium for ACR. Yes.
well, hang on. It's not supposed to be side.
Sorry.
Unbiased.
No, cut it out.
That's not possible in life. But Maguire definitely not happy with his result. Finishing 4th, just didn't have the tire life to take it to the end in third position, and he is pretty mad with himself. I think Sergi Heras just put the fastest lap in. I think, did he? Yeah, he did. 40.2.
Yeah, he stolen fastest lap by 1/10 of a second.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Florian Becker now just has to come around one last sector. I think he just wants to make sure the tires are absolutely dead when he comes to the line. the way he's driving now. Make sure you get to the line, Florian, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what though, Haysterbake, he's out there doing a victory lap, and I don't blame him either. He obviously wants to drive his car back into the pits properly. You watch this road, probably write it off.
Florian just puts it into the wall there. Okay. But Haysterbake, definitely very, very nice drive.
Yep. Okay, the question I asked you a little bit earlier, guys. In America, the first ever airmail, how was it delivered? Go on, give us your guesses.
By Dove. By a fucking Dove.
I don't know. I don't know.
By train.
Okay.
No,
It was
by
meant
Dove.
to be delivered by a hot air balloon, but the wind was blowing the wrong direction, so they sent it by train instead.
Haysterbake's doing donuts in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Still, I mean,
congratulations to
there were letters sent by Dove before that, right? So it's not.
Yeah, but-
it's not correct, Dave. It's just not.
It is. You can't stick a postage stamp on a dove. I'm not surprised that Hasterbake's doing donuts in the pit lane though. Huge congratulations to him.
Hey Felix,
Yeah.
they delivered it because of a paling, a paling delivered it.
Ah.
Oh.
Well.
You can tell this has been a long race in the commentary box, can't you? Now I know how people feel when they're commentating on live Le Mans at night and they can't see any cars on track. But anyway, there we go. The Ace race is done.
Yep, definitely has been exciting enough for me, at least at the end.
Yeah, definitely. It was all worth it, the wait, I think.
Yep, definitely. So, guys, anything to add still?
Only thing I would add is tune in tomorrow to watch me and Felix crash out in Pro.
Yeah, and me and Justin commentate in Pro.
So, yeah, you want to crash, Dave? Okay, let's do it.
No.
So you qualify in front of me? Yes?
Oh, I don't know about that one. We'll find out tomorrow.
Okay. Tune in tomorrow for Pro. It starts at 14 GMT, I believe. So, yeah, that should be great racing also. And, yeah, until then, take care.
Goodbye.